world, the real battlefield isn't fought with weapons. It's fought with data, chips, algorithms, and satellites. The race for technological supremacy has become the defining struggle of our century. And two giants are leading this race, the United States and China. One is the long-standing global tech leader with a legacy of innovation stretching from Silicon Valley to the moon. The other is a rising powerhouse determined to build its own digital empire, faster and larger than ever imagined. But who's really ahead? The answer isn't simple, because this isn't one race, it's many. AI, semiconductors, quantum computing, space, electric vehicles, telecommunications, biotech, cyber warfare, each a critical front, each with a different winner. Let's begin with artificial intelligence. In 2022, the launch of ChatGPT shocked the world. A tool that could write like a human, think in code, and hold complex conversations. The West celebrated a major leap forward. But in China, something different was happening. Chinese firms were building their own large language models. Baidu released ErnieBot. Alibaba launched Tongyi Qianwen. iFlyTek introduced SparkDesk. They didn't just copy, they localized. Trained on Chinese data. Deployed on Chinese platforms. And in some sectors, adopted faster than their Western counterparts. AI in China is being integrated into every part of daily life. Education, finance, manufacturing, even courtrooms. The Chinese government has laid out national plans to become the world leader in AI by 2030. They're training tens of thousands of AI engineers and building dozens of national AI labs. Meanwhile, the US leads in foundational research, massive compute power, and global influence. The models might be bigger in the West, but the rollout? China is moving fast and at scale. Next, the heart of all modern technology, semiconductors. Silicon chips power everything from smartphones to missiles. And here the US has long held dominance. Companies like NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and Qualcomm define the global chip design landscape. But China is the world's largest chip market and increasingly unwilling to rely on foreign supply. When the US imposed export bans on advanced chips and manufacturing equipment, it triggered what many now call the chip war. But China didn't stop. Instead, it doubled down. Huawei stunned the world by launching the Mate 60 Pro with a domestically produced 7nm chip made by Semiconductors under heavy restrictions. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy. But it sent a message. China is building its own semiconductor ecosystem, and it won't be stopped. Still, the US leads in extreme ultraviolet lithography, EDA software, and chip IP. Dutch and American control over key tools keeps China at a disadvantage. But for how long? As we move toward more advanced computing, quantum technology becomes the next frontier. Quantum computers promise speeds unimaginable today. They could break encryption, revolutionize drug discovery, and simulate entire ecosystems. Both China and the US have made dramatic progress. China's quantum research is state-supported and rapidly growing. The University of Science and Technology of China made headlines with Zhujiang and Zhuchangji, photonic and superconducting quantum computers. Meanwhile, Google and IBM race forward in the West. The US holds more patents and private sector initiatives. But China's public investment is unmatched. Who reaches true quantum advantage first remains uncertain. But the stakes are monumental. Now let's look up, literally, to the race in space. This isn't just about planting flags anymore. It's about resources, GPS independence, satellite internet, and strategic military positioning. The United States, led by NASA and powered by SpaceX, remains the dominant force in space launches and innovation. Reusable rockets, private spaceflight, and Starlink satellite internet are changing the game. But China has built its own space station, Tiangong. It has landed rovers on the Moon and Mars. And it's planning a lunar base by the 2030s. More importantly, China's entire space program is tightly integrated with its long-term strategic goals. While the US relies on public-private partnerships, China's government has central control and long-range planning. Which model will prove more effective in the long run? Back on Earth, the next wave of change is electric. Electric vehicles are transforming transportation. Tesla is the most recognizable name in the industry. But in 2023, China's BYD overtook Tesla in global EV sales. How did this happen? China invested early, not just in cars, but in batteries, infrastructure, and critical minerals. It built a complete EV supply chain from mining to manufacturing. And now, Chinese EVs are spreading across Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. The US is catching up with incentives through the Inflation Reduction Act and EV startups growing rapidly. But China dominates the global battery market, especially in lithium iron phosphate cells. This edge may be hard to close. Let's now talk about the invisible network holding everything together, Telecom. China's Huawei once led the world in 5G. Its tech was cheaper, fast, and reliable. But then came the bans. The US and allies removed Huawei from their networks, citing security risks. Yet in many developing countries, Huawei remains the top provider of 5G infrastructure. And now, China is already testing 6G satellites, years before most countries have rolled out full 5G. The US, meanwhile, is promoting open RAN systems and investing in alternatives. But the split is clear. The global internet may be dividing into separate ecosystems, led by two tech superpowers. Technology isn't just about gadgets and growth. It's about power, including military power. Both countries are rapidly upgrading their defense systems with AI, autonomous weapons, and cyber capabilities. The US has the most advanced combat systems, with drone swarms, predictive AI, and battlefield robotics. Its cyber command has reach across the globe. But China is catching up fast. With integrated civil-military development, China uses its tech sector to directly support military modernization. From facial recognition in border regions to hypersonic missile tracking, the fusion of tech and defense is complete. Cyber attacks, satellite jamming, information warfare, these are no longer future threats. They are now part of the digital battlefield. But behind all the hardware and software, there's something else: people. China is producing more STEM graduates than any other country. Its education system is focused, intense, and scaling fast. The US still attracts top global talent, but immigration restrictions and internal politics have slowed its edge. China's innovation model is top-down, driven by national strategy. The US thrives on open research, startups, and venture capital. Both have strengths and weaknesses. One offers speed and scale. The other, creativity and depth. Which system wins in the long run may depend not on technology alone, but on adaptability, values, and leadership. So where does all of this lead us? Are we heading for a bifurcated world? One ruled by parallel tech universes? One where data flows, standards, and platforms don't cross borders? Or can the US and China find a way to coexist, competitively, but peacefully? There's no easy answer. But one thing is certain: this isn't just a race between two countries. It's a race that will define the future of everyone. From your phone to your car, from your job to your identity, the technologies born in this great competition will shape how we live, work, and think. The real question isn't who will win. It's what kind of world we want these technologies to build. And that depends on all of us.